today I am going to film a video on the chapter 7 evolution. Here I am going to discuss the 5 topics of this chapter. The first topic is the formation of the universe or the origin of universe, then the origin of earth, then the origin of life on earth, then the various theories related to the origin of the life on earth, thereafter Miller's experiment and the evidences for evolution. So watch it. I think that it is going to be very helpful for you and interesting as well. Dear students of class 12, today's topic is evolution. It is the chapter 7 of your biology book. Now what do you mean by evolution? Evolution is the gradual and slow process by which a species undergo changes in characteristics and developed into a new organism or new species. This is what known as evolution. Now the study of the life form on the earth is known as evolutionary biology. Now in this chapter I will discuss today the 5 main topics in the part 1 of this video, and the next video part 2 I will discuss the remaining part of this chapter. So in this part of this video I will discuss about the origin of universe, origin of earth, theories of origin of life, and the experimental evidences of chemical evolution, and finally the evidences for evolution. So students, here I go with the first topic of today's chapter, evolution, that is origin of universe. It is said that universe was originated about 20 billion years ago, and it is comprises of huge clusters of galaxies. Now what is a galaxy? Galaxy is the stars and cloud of gases and dust. Now it is said that the universe was created by a big bang. This is known as Big Bang theory. You will read this in physics. Now what happened exactly in Big Bang theory? That I am not going to discuss in detail. It is the part in physics that you have read or you will read. Now huge explosion took place in the and the universe expanded. The temperature came down, hydrogen and helium gas were formed, and the galaxies that were formed due to the condensation of gases under gravitation. So this was about the origin of universe. So the next topic is origin of earth. It is said that earth was originated nearly 4.5 billion years ago. Now how was the initial surface of the earth at that time? It is said that initially the surface was covered with water vapor, methane gas, carbon dioxide and ammonia. Now the UV rays of the sun broke this water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. Now what happened to this hydrogen? The hydrogen escaped out and the oxygen combined with ammonia and methane gas. So this hydrogen after escaping and oxygen after combining with ammonia and methane, it also formed water, carbon dioxide and other gases. It is said that ozone layer was also formed during this time. Gradually this water vapor cooled down and led to rain. Now this rain filled the depressions of the earth's surface and finally formed the water bodies of today that we say as oceans and seas. So this is about the formation of the origin of the earth. The third topic is theories of origin of life. Now it is said that life originated on earth about 500 million years ago. Now there are 4 basic theories that explain the origin of life. The first theory is the theory of spatial creation. This theory was put forward by, it is actually a theological doctrine. So it is not accepted theory, as this theory says that God has created the life by his divine act of creation. Next theory is the theory of panspermia. It is put forward by Fred Hoyle and Chandra Wickramasinghe. Now this theory states that According to the Greek thinkers, the units of life called spores or panspermia came from the outer space and developed into living forms. But this theory is also discarded. Third theory is the theory of spontaneous generation, which was put forward by Aristotle. Now, the great thinker Aristotle, he said that life has originated on the earth from the decaying and rotting matter like straw, mud, etc. But this theory was dismissed by Louis Pasteur, and he has supported the dismissal by his own experiment that I am discussing a bit later. Now, next come the theory of chemical evolution, which was put forward by Oparin, a Russian scientist, and Haldane. Now, according to this theory, life has originated from pre-existing non-living organic molecules. So, the conditions of the earth favoring the chemical evolution were high temperature, volcanic storms, and reducing atmospheric conditions like that contain the gases like ammonia, methane, etc. So, let's next discuss about how did Louis Pasteur dismiss this theory of spontaneous generation by his own experiment. Now, he said that Louis Pasteur, he dismissed the theory of spontaneous generation and demonstrated that life came from pre-existing life. Now, in this figure, you can see the figure 1, as Louis Pasteur has also explained like this. What he has explained, I am telling you here with the help of the diagram that I have drawn. Now, he has taken two flasks. One flask was pre-sterilized and the other flask was open in the air. So, as in this figure, this flask is just open without any lid. But the flask B has a cork on it and it is totally sealed with the cork. So, you can see here meat is placed in both the flask, and in the flask A, where there is no cover or lid, maggots can be seen growing. The green colored dots are the maggots growing in this flask. While in this flask, which is covered by a lid, there is no maggot or flies in the container. So here you see the open flask where there is no lid, the formation of maggot take place. But how? Where do these maggots come from? And here in the sterilized flask or the covered flask, there is no maggot formation. So in this same way, Louis Pasteur also explained that life actually came from pre-existing life. So he has placed two flasks. One is pre-sterilized flask. He took some yeast, and the other flask, it was open to the air. He showed that life did not origin in the former one, that is pre-sterilized and covered, while the other, which was open, where the new life forms were seen. So in this way, Louis Pasteur dismissed the theory of spontaneous generation. So this is the experimental evidence for chemical evolution or Miller's experiment. Here I am going to discuss about the Miller's experiment. Now, S.L. Miller and H.C. Urey, these two scientists, they set up an experimental model known as Miller's experiment in the year 1953. So this is the experimental model, in which you can see a big container, or you can see a big flask. In the flask there are some gases like ammonia, hydrogen, methane and water, and two electrodes are inserted into the flask that produces spark, or spark discharge is produced. And you see in the vacuum pump, water is pumped. Here the boiling water is there in the jar, and the water contains some organic compounds. Now, after keeping this setup for 7 days, it was seen that amino acid and complex molecules like sugar, nitrogen and bases, pigment and fat were present in the flask. So what did the scientists conclude? They proved that the evidence of chemical evolution of life was the main theory that supports life through chemical evolution. It also showed that life, that is the first non-cellular form of life, was created about 3 billion years ago, and it showed that non-cellular biomolecules existed in the form of DNA, RNA, protein and polysaccharide. So these are the conclusions of the Miller's experiment. So this is how Miller and Urey suggested the experiment of chemical evolution of life. The next topic is the formation of first cell. It is said that the first non-cellular form of life originated on Earth about 4.5 billion years ago. This was generally the giant molecules like RNA, protein, polysaccharides, and they might have reproduced themselves. And later, by 4 billion years ago, the first living cell appeared on the earth. Now, these first cellular organisms, which originated about 4 billion years ago, might have been single celled form of aquatic environment. They were formed in the aquatic environment. They were the first prokaryotes to be developed about 4 billion years ago. This is the last topic for today's video, that is evidences for evolution. Here there are 4 evidences of evolution. First is the paleontological evidence. Second is the morphological and comparative anatomical evidences. Third is the biochemical evidence, and thereafter the biogeographical evidence. So let me first discuss about the paleontological evidence. Now, what do you mean by paleontology? It is the study about fossils. Now, what do you mean by fossils? Fossils are the remains or impressions of the past organisms preserved in the sedimentary rocks or other media. Now, different aged rock sediments in the earth crust indicate the presence of fossils of different life forms which died long ago during the sediment formation. Now, a variety of fossils ranging from the modern organism to the extinct organism can be observed in the fossils. By studying the different sedimentary layers, the geological time period in which these organisms survived or existed can be predicted. The second evidence is the morphological and comparative anatomical evidence. Now, what does it state? Now, the phylogenetic history can be related by comparative study of external and internal structure of organisms, either plant or animal. Now, the organs which has same structural design and origin but has different functions are called homologous organs. So, homologous organs are those organs which are present in various organisms that are structurally same but functionally different. For example, the 4 limbs of some animals like whale, bat, cheetah, they have same anatomical structure. What are the anatomical structure in the whale, bat and cheetah's arm or forelimb, even human forelimb? These animals have humerus, radius, ulna, carpal, metacarpal and phalanges. These are the bone structure. Now, due to the different needs of these organisms, the structure has developed differently for the different functions. Now, this is called divergent evolution, where the origin of the structure is same but the function is different. So, even in the plant species, you can see that like thorns. Often we see that thorns of rose, thorns of bougainvillea plant arise in the stem, and the cucurbita plant, you see the tendril of the cucurbita arise from the stem. Now, the origin is the same, that is the stem, but the functions are different. The thorns in bougainvillea or lemon or rose helps in preventing it from or getting rid from browsing animals, while the tendrils help in climbing of the cucurbita. So, this is what known as divergent evolution. Next is convergent evolution. That is the organs which are anatomically different but functionally similar. They are called analogous organs. For example, the wings of an insect and the wing of bat or bird, you see their functions are same. They can fly with the wings, but their structures are very different, isn't it? So, other ways you can see the eyes of octopus and the eyes of mammal, they are also function are same, but the structures are very different. Even the flipper of penguin, dolphin, these are having the same function but structures are very different. In plant species, the sweet potato, they are the root modification and the potato is the stem modification. But function is same, that is storage of food, while the structures are different, that is the anatomical structure is different. The next topic is biochemical evidence. Now what do you mean by biochemical evidence? The similarities in protein structure, gene structure that perform a common function given in an organism is due to the common ancestry. Now the metabolic processes in organism are also similar with same new materials and end products. So that is known as biochemical evidence. And finally the biogeographical evidence. The species that are restricted to a region, they develop unique features, and also species present in widely separated regions show similarities of the ancestry. So this is the biogeographical evidence. So students, I hope you understood the topic, the 5 topics that I discussed today in this chapter, evolution. It's very interesting, and the end part of the part 2 of this same chapter, I will discuss about the theories related to evolution. So keep watching, and if you like the video or have any suggestions or any type of queries, do comment me in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay happy. Bye bye.